Hey guys, it's Fear here. Today I'll be bringing you a Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary, and this is actually my first Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a couple of things about Battlefield 3, and I'd also like to take a moment to thank all of you that have taken the time to subscribe to my channel. Over the weekend I finally reached 100 subscribers, and it's taken me a little over 18 months to get there, thereabouts. But I'd like to thank all you guys for your continued support on my channel, and for watching my videos, and for leaving comments on my videos, and all the other stuff that you guys do. I may not always reply to every comment that I see on my channel, however I do read them all. So once again, thank you for subscribing to me and continue to support my YouTube channel. And as they say, the best is yet to come. I've got some really good stuff sort of planned for you guys, and I really think you're going to enjoy it, so do stay tuned. Moving on to Battlefield 3 now. As I said a minute ago, this is actually my first sort of Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary, and I'm going to cover a couple of things that I feel about Battlefield 3 so far. Today I am playing Sharqi Peninsula Rush, and I am on the defending team using the MP7, the M1911, I almost forgot that then, and the RPG. And this is a favourite setup of mine. The MP7, although it doesn't have sort of massive damage that the other weapons have, it has a really good rate of fire, and in close quarter situations, it is actually fantastic because of this fast rate of fire. While the damage per round may be quite low, the amount of rounds that this thing can sort of spew out very quickly means that really it's kind of negated by the fact that it can fire so fast. I also use the RPG ahead of other sort of weapons like the Stinger or Javelin or so forth, because I think that these weapons have actually taken something out of the game. It's just they're too fire and forget. Whereas an RPG, you take down a helicopter with an RPG, it's a pretty phenomenal shot. You take down a jet with an RPG, it's an incredible shot, and it would have taken some sort of skill on your part. Whereas the lock-on weapons don't really do that. They make away with the fact that you've got to plan where to place your RPG or small, and just point at the target, wait until you hear the lock-on beeps, and then fire it, and then don't worry about it. So I predominantly use the RPG because of this reason. It's kind of a reminder from sort of Bad Company 2. There have been some fantastic Bad Company 2 montages with the players in them using the AT4 to great effect, and I really enjoyed them montages, and the lock-on weapons just don't really allow for any skill when you actually fire. One of the other things I'd like to cover as well is the suppression effect. In the latest patch, which this is a Sharqi game from, I don't know, about 3-4 days ago, in the latest patch, DICE actually toned down the suppression, and one of my biggest bugbears about Battlefield 3 so far is the suppression effect. I'm personally of the belief that a mechanic that adds deviation to rounds when you're being fired upon has no place in a first-person shooter. Skill should come completely into it. If I'm firing at a guy with perfect accuracy, and a guy spraying at me with an LMG, he should not be rewarded for that. I should be rewarded for the fact that I'm trying to get my kill cleanly and accurately. Whereas at the moment the game rewards you really for sort of spraying in the general direction of an enemy, and the stuff like the suppression, the suppression assist, where you get 50 points. That kind of emphasises the fact that, hey, you guys missed, don't worry about it, here's 50 points, you take them away. So it doesn't really sort of make you focus on actually aiming, really well at the enemies, aiming accurately. It sort of takes away from that. So the suppression effect itself isn't really, a big thing for me. I don't like it, and ideally I would love to see it removed. However, since that's not going to happen, I can live with the sort of compromise that DICE have done in the fact that they've toned down the suppression from previously and kind of made it a little more bearable. If they can't, if they won't remove it completely, I'll definitely take a toning down of the suppression effect so that I can actually see when I'm being shot at. With regards to the suppression effect, one of the other benefits about the MP7 is that unlike, it doesn't seem as affected by suppression as all other weapons, and part of the reason for that may be that it fires rounds so quick that the same amount of rounds actually miss your target, but because of how fast it fires these rounds, you don't really notice it when you're firing at a guy. So in my opinion, I think that if you're using the MP7 and you're being suppressed at close quarters, you have a better chance of actually scoring a kill on the guy that's shooting near you than you do with other weapons. The suppression effect is probably most predominant on stuff like shotguns, where you'll be under the effect of suppression and you'll fire point blank at a guy and it'll do nothing to him. Every sort of pellet from the round will miss, and you'll end up in the respawn screen thinking, wait, how did that actually happen? And that has really sort of made an impact for me for shotgun use. I use shotguns quite a bit in Bad Company 2, and in Battlefield 3 I just don't bother, and I don't bother because of the suppression effect. When I'm suppressed, I instantly know that I can't hit the broadside of a barn anymore with a shotgun, and it kind of makes them really pointless. Moving on from the sort of suppression that I was just discussing a second ago, I've played a fair bit of Battlefield 3. I played a lot of Bad Company 2, and while Bad Company 2 wasn't the best shooter in the world, as daft as it sounds, the game felt like it had some sort of soul. Whenever you played certain maps on Bad Company 2, it just brought a smile to your face, and the game itself, you look forward to playing. And I think that Battlefield 3 is missing some of that sort of charm that Bad Company 2 had. And while Battlefield 3 itself is a solid shooter, it's missing a little something. Maybe it's the teamwork aspect, which doesn't seem to me as prevalent as it is in Bad Company 2. Or maybe it's that certain features of the game are missing in comparison to previous Battlefield games, such as Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142, such as Battle Recorder and other things like that. But Battlefield 3 is missing a little something that stops it from moving from a good shooter to a really great shooter. I had a lot of fun with Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3, while I have a lot of fun with Battlefield 3, I don't have as much fun as I did with Bad Company 2, and I can't quite put my finger on why that is. So, as I was saying previously, I finally reached 100 subscribers over the weekend, and one of you guys who have subscribed to me, Dronic Zombie, asked me a couple of months ago if I reached 100 subscribers, would I do a Battlefield 3 commentary? So now I've reached 100 subscribers and I'm doing a Battlefield 3 commentary. This one's for you, Dronic Zombie. I do read all your guys' comments, and although I don't always reply to them, I am listening. I am watching what you put. So if you ever have any sort of suggestions for games to try out, do shove them in the comments and let me know. With the game almost over, I'm going to leave you guys to the remainder of the game. Once again, thank you for taking the time to subscribe to me. Thanks for watching and listening, and do keep an eye out on my channel because I have much more stuff coming up and it is going to be fantastic. So take it easy guys, and until next time, bye bye.